Welcome back to the cabin. It's the middle of May and I've come up for the week. I got all my stuff inside. I got the battery charging and we're going to have a thunderstorm here in a couple of minutes. I don't know if I can record it or not. The black flies are out because it's still right now. So I'll just take a quick walk around the property here. My ferns are coming up that will cover my rock wall in front, my brick-brack wall. That's good. Come up the side here, this is where the truck had to stop that was delivering the lumber. Couldn't get any further because the ground's still wet. When it's dry, they can back up here and bring stuff out and back for. So the grass I planted last year as an experiment seems to be doing well. I haven't gone back there yet because it's still wet, but I may try to sow some more of that, and I still have that little bit left over of my pile of wood chips. They're mostly composted by now. I'm thinking of actually putting some of those out front and combine them with the dirt and see if I can grow some grass out front. My solar panels. I opened up the windows in the cellar, the screens, to get some airflow through there, keep the dampness out. And there's the well, and behind it there's 2 white water tanks. I gotta fill those up. I gotta figure out how to either cover them with plastic or spray paint them so I don't get algae when I fill them up. And the ditch lilies are all green, the leaves, so hopefully they'll be coming up soon. And still have a lot of moss down in on top of my septic field, so I'll have to hit that with some more lime. But there is some grass growing there, which is what I want eventually. Now I got to replace those wooden markers with plastic PVC, 1/2 inch or something, just below the surface, so I know where they are. I'm going to get rid of that little roof there on the wood pile, and I'm going to move that wood over to just have one pile. And there's a well there on the left. That tree in the middle is dead, so I'm going to take that down this year. I'm going to make it fall toward the right so it stays away from the house, and I'll cut that up, and there should be a lot of good firewood in that. There's a couple small dead ones too in there I may take down as well. And here's my battery box that you've seen. It's a constant battle with the bees, the hornets. They like to build a nest inside, and it's not sealed up so they can get in, so I have to come out here at night and spray them. You can see the results of the spray on the bulkhead there. So that's about it. It's a view down front. And back to the car in the front of the cabin. Well, the truck just delivered my tongue and groove. So now my job is to get it down into the cellar, out of the weather. There's a few clouds today, and they said there may be some showers, but better be safe than sorry. So I'll start bringing these down cellar. So my process is I stack it up vertically here and then go down into the cellar and bring it down and stack it in the cellar. Keep it out of the weather. Slow process, but it's good exercise. So I was a bit worried about my old marine battery. When I got up here, the voltage was reading 11.1 volts, which is way down there. So I put it on the solar panels, and the middle light there is blinking, which indicates the battery's fully charged. So hopefully that marine battery is still working okay. I just use it as a backup. I've got my 4 golf cart batteries, which pretty much stay completely charged because they're always on the solar panels, and I don't really use that much here. We'll see what that marine battery looks like tomorrow. I want to get started putting up the tongue and groove pine on this wall, this strip. So first of all, I have to clear all my junk away from the wall so I have space to work. I got to move that bureau out a couple feet, and the safe back here is bolted into the wall, so I have to undo that and slide that out as well. So I got space next to the wall now, clean things out, and I just cut bottom 2 boards to length, and before I put them in, I have 2 outlets that I have to put in there as well. Yeah, I know you're supposed to put the outlets in first, but I do everything backwards. So one of these switches is going to go to the lights in the cellar. So I have to drill a hole to run that wire. And then I'm going to have a 12 volt outlet here. So I put this box in and wire that as well. So first drill the hole. Alright, now get some wire and run that to the cellar. Alright, cut this to length, so we'll run it down into the cellar. Alright, this will go up in the box. That'll work. I got the first board in, everything's level, and I marked out my cutouts on the second board for the outlets. There's one of them here, and so we'll cut those out now, try and get the second board up. Well, it was chilly this morning. It's 50 degrees inside, so I figured I'd get a fire started, warm things up a bit. It's also supposed to be rainy today, so it's damp outside too. So I figured warm myself up with a nice fire here while I work on the tongue and groove. Alright, let's see how my notching went on this piece. The one on the left looks good. Wow, this looks good too. Yeah, that's going to work out nice. I will be running both 12 volt DC and 120 volt AC in the cabin. The pure sine wave inverter is not hooked up yet, so I don't have any 120 volt, and all I have is the 12 volt DC. I put my first 12 volt outlet in the wall. What I'm doing is I'm using 220 volt outlets for my 12 volt DC. You can see from the plug here that the blades are horizontal as opposed to normal vertical blades for 120 volt outlet. So this way it's impossible to plug a 110 volt plug into this outlet, and it's impossible to plug this, which will be my 12 volt plug, into a 120 volt outlet, because they just don't work. So I'm going to try this and see how it works. So far so good. Well, the first 5 boards went up without any issue. They were fairly straight. This 6th board is a little bit warped. I'm having to persuade it here with my little incline tool to get those pieces to meet properly. I got to move it here down toward the end because that doesn't want to go down yet either. So you got to persuade it. This is as far as I got with the tongue and groove this trip on this northwest wall, but I'm happy with how it came out. I got that warp board in place. It's kind of hard to get some light here for you to see. Here's a view in the corner. I'll put molding in the corner eventually. So that's gonna do it for this trip. I gotta clean this place up a bit and pack up the car and then head back home. It's supposed to be 95 degrees today, but it was in the upper 40s last night, so the temperature in the cabin is still in the low 60s, so I haven't been feeling the heat yet. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time at the cabin.